Hi guys, welcome back to the Hippie Spirit. Today I'm going to answer some of the questions that you guys had on my Instagram. I had posted a story on, all the questions that you wanted to ask me related to US and life in the US and all those things, and you had some questions, and I had promised that my next video is gonna be answers to those questions. I had some general questions and nice questions, so I thought, okay, these are the doubts that you guys have, and let me just give you my perspective on what it is about life in the US. All right, so first question is, how did you get US visa after Indian BDS? That's a straightforward question, honestly. I did my BDS and MDS from India, and I applied to the master's in public health program in one of the universities in the US, University of New Haven. I talk about that university quite a lot on my videos, and I got an admission, and that's it. So if you are a foreign national, you need a certain type of visa to come to the US, right? So if you are a student, you're coming to do a master's program or some other undergraduate degree or something related to a university or a program, you are on an F1 visa. If you are a tourist, or if you're just coming to visit and go, you're on a J1 visa. So there are all these types of visa categories that you can come to the US. So mine was an F1 visa. That's a student visa. For any program, if you have to go to a university, you have to come through that route. That's going to be your visa. Second question is, being a student, I am worried about the security and scholarships. So I know this person personally. She had taken an interview of mine, so she's planning to come to the US. I know that, and her concern is that she's a student and she's planning to come to the US for a program, and she's concerned about the security of the place and scholarships. So talking about security, honestly, I can't really say if it's completely safe or completely not secure. No place in the world is super safe all the time, every day, all day, So you just have to be careful, and you just have to really believe what your gut tells you, when you are in situations that make you uncomfortable, and if you don't want to proceed with something or be with someone or things like that, you just have to be careful, just like how careful you are back at home, right? So as such, there is no security concerns or issues that you have to be really tensed about. I can tell you that much. It's a safe place, and honestly, I feel much safer after coming to the US. Not to say that I wasn't feeling safer back in India or back in my country. So you don't have to be worried about the safety, you just go with it, and just be brave and smart. More than brave, you gotta be smart. Even if you're not brave, that's okay, but you gotta be smart, because if you're coming here by yourself, that means you have to be really smart and make informed decisions on where you're going and what time you're going, night or day or whatever, doesn't matter. But just be cautious around everything. Have an eye on what's going on around you. Just don't be caught up in your phone or your headphones and music and all that when you are in public places, even in buses, and when you're going out for groceries shopping or anything, whatever. This applies to any part of the world, right? It's just not US thing or Indian thing or Pakistan thing or UK thing or nothing. It's just the standard everywhere, so you don't have to be concerned or stressed about the situations or safety. You're safe here, just like how safe you are back in your country. So it's fine. And scholarships, that's a different question, because that's related to universities. Honestly, I have spoken about this on my channel, that I honestly only know about how the University of New Haven scholarship worked out for me, and I just applied through. Once I was accepted into the program, and when I got my email, I just saw this scholarship option and I applied to the scholarship with whatever papers I had. And it was then up to them to decide if they wanted to give me the scholarship. So they had like a 10%, 20%, and 50% scholarships. 50% was the maximum, I guess, that they were giving out. And they found my profile good, so I think so they gave me like a 50% scholarship, and that was one of the major reasons why University of New Haven was like then became the first thing on my list. I had applied to other universities too, but some universities didn't have scholarship options, so it was really important for me to not like dent a hole in my financial background. So it was so important for me. So scholarships, of course, you will have to go into each and every website of the universities that you're planning to apply and the program that you're planning to apply. By program, I mean course. Like when you say public health program, that means it's a course, 2-year course. Okay, when you say business analytics program, here we say program instead of course. So when I say program, that means the course. So you have to go into the course or the program that you're gonna go into and read their, read whatever is given on their website to look for scholarship opportunities. So most universities give you scholarships. I've heard that universities sometimes give you like a 100% scholarship and grant and all that, but I am not really sure of what universities give you that and all that. So yeah, that's my answer. But University of New Haven gave me like a 50% scholarship and I jumped on it. All right, what are the differences between USA and India? Self-opinion in brackets. Okay, so lot of differences actually. The first thing is that back in your home country, whatever country you are from that you're watching this video right now, you are surrounded by people, by friends, family, people close to you, people you're close to. I have more time here than I had back in my country. So I have more time and I have more quiet time around me, which gives me a lot of chances to upgrade myself, like to learn a new skill or to do another job or to see what I want to do to grow like financially and personally and spiritually and all that. So that's a major difference. It's just the environment difference, you know what I mean? So in India, it's just always like things are happening, things are more, you feel like a more cramped situations, because I'm not talking geographically or population wise. It's always like that. Your home country is gonna have people who you are surrounded with, right? Like while those relationships and the socializing and everything is important, what is also important is that you have to have your own space, your own like room for thoughts. Like if you are someone who wants to grow in your career and your relationships and all that. So that's the main difference, like lifestyle change that happened to me after I came to the US. So I kind of like that. So you only have to socialize when you want to socialize, and if you don't want to socialize, you don't have to socialize. The other difference is that a lot of cultural differences, because here people don't call you, just take their phones and call you. They text you first. There's so much importance to personal space. Even when you're talking to someone, you don't touch them unless you know or unless you have a consent on touching their hands or whatever. So there is so much importance to that personal space around you. So when you're talking to someone, back in my country, we are all like really friendly and hugging each other and punching each other and holding hands and hugging, and it's just so physical, and it's not an offense. It's just it's an expression of friendship, it's an expression of a relationship and all that. But here, unless you are someone who is very close to this person you're talking to, you're not expected. You're expected to not touch, all that. So that's a cultural thing, honestly. And I kind of like that, making a phone calls. Like people just don't pick up the call, like pick up the phone and just make a call. Like, they text first to see if you are available or if it's a convenient time for you to talk. So that's just just a line of respect that people keep towards each other. You just don't pick up the call and call somebody on their face. You know what I mean? So I have sort of gotten used to that, and I really get annoyed when people just pick up their phones and just call me just out of the blue when I'm sleeping, you know? So unless it's like my family or my best friend or my boyfriend or whoever, otherwise nobody outside of that have that kind of an access to me. That's a culture thing I learned after coming here, and it's just not to say that I don't like people calling me. Like, I don't do that either. So I don't like randomly call people without telling them that I'm going to call or asking them if this is a convenient time to call, talk, and all that. So you fix a time, and then when the time comes 10 a.m. morning tomorrow, okay, I'll call you at this time. So that's a cultural thing. Again, it really trains you to give and take that respect and give and take that space that people need. There is another video that I made on the differences in the job market here, like not the job market, the paycheck and the salaried culture and the hourly pay culture. I have made another video on that, so if you want, you can check that video. That's like a major, like a difference in the way payments work in the US and back in other countries. So that's one of the difference that I'm not going to discuss about that here. You can watch that video. That's another major difference between India and US. The next question is job vacancies. So I can talk about only from masters in public health point of view, because again, like I said, I have my background in dentistry, and what I'm doing right now, my job is related to dentistry, and I am working on patients, like not as a dentist, but I have other credentials under me that lets me work on patients on simple procedures. So even though I did masters in public health, the kind of job that I was behind or what I wanted to do was something related to dentistry, which is also public health, but not exactly immediately like so close to public health, you know, but it is still public health related, and I am authorized to do that. So your job vacancies really depend on what your background is and what are the job sectors that you are planning to get into. Of course, if you're asking me about the volume of job vacancies, there are a lot, like so many opportunities for you. You can literally create your own opportunity and a spot with a company if you pitch yourself well, you know. So if you're asking me about the volume, there is so much, but what are the job vacancies? It really depends on what you are looking into doing. And there's this one place that I would suggest all of you to go and look for jobs is Indeed. You can go to Indeed and you can search what job title that you're looking for, and you can put the location as New York or, you know, Texas or whatever state you want to go into, or Connecticut or whatever, San Diego, you know. So, and then you can see all the listings they have on that particular job title that you typed in. So it really gives you an idea of what are the opportunities, what are the openings you have. Almost all the companies will show you the pay, like on the listing, you know, what you are expected to get paid. It could be a salaried one, it could be like per hour, it depends. It could be part-time, full-time, different shifts like morning shifts, afternoon, evening, night shifts, all different sorts of opportunities. So I highly suggest you to go to Indeed and look for job opportunities if you are, you know, confused about what program to take or what course to take to come to the US. So that's the best tool that I can give you, so you can do your own research on job vacancies. How easy or difficult is it to fit in? Oh my God, social life in the US. So this question is kind of a complicated one, because I will not tell you that it is easy. I will not tell you that it is hard. So it's a bit of both. Language barrier is one thing, and confidence is another thing. The way you communicate is another thing. And all this combined, it's sort of, it's a journey. Like, you learn, right? Sometimes you make like dumb mistakes when you socialize, and you know, it's just human, so it's fine. So what I'm saying is, it is not difficult. Wait, let me reframe that question, because I wouldn't want to use the word fit in, because you really don't have to try and fit in. You just have to be yourself, be a better version of yourself, you know. So you just have to kind of gauge the kind of culture and the community that you are getting into. For example, you're getting into a job where you have like 40 people working with you in person or online. You just have to understand the company culture and how people, you have to observe a lot to know how people are talking to each other, how they are treating you, how you're treating them. So it's like a learning curve for initial like 1 or 2 years, or in the beginning it might be a little difficult for you to like feel belonged in a place, you know, unless like at least until you start building those relationships with your friends and co-workers and all that. But it's really not that hard. So you have to invest in yourself, your language skills. I have videos where I'm talking about the language struggles that I have, and how my accents have changed, and how I still embrace my own accent, but I'm in the middle of like a mixed accent situation right now, and I'm okay with that. And the only goal is to make them understand what you're saying, right? So that makes communication smoother and easier. So the only barrier I feel, I mean, not the only barrier, you have like 2-3 barriers that might hinder your fitting in process, like, you know, the blending process is the cultural differences and language differences. So if you can overcome these 2 things, I think you are in a good position to fit into the culture. Like, you don't have to, I really don't want to use the word fit in, like to be comfortably within your comfort zone in a foreign land, you know. So it's not easy, but it's also not too difficult. So it's just a process, and you cannot have it all together. The first few months when you come here, you would be like lost and lonely, and you trust me, I've gone through that, like, you know, figuring out everything by yourself, and even the minutest of the most mundane things that you have to do, I had to do a lot of research before I got a grasp on what I'm doing. So it's just a learning process. So it's not hard. We're all humans, right? Like, we're all humans. We're all here to communicate and talk and, you know, connect and network and all that. So just give yourself that time and be patient with yourself and learn from your mistakes and grow up. Like, you know, we have a lot of limiting beliefs about ourselves, so just grow up and have a growth mentality during the process, and you're good. What about public health care? I did my 12th with PCB and now I'm pursuing BA, so can I do public health? So this is a kind of question that I usually get a lot on my YouTube, on my comments and Instagram. It really depends. Public health is a very general course. There are so many things you can do under public health. So even if you are someone who is not coming from a healthcare background, you still can do public health, provided you give them enough reasons to say why you are pivoting from your initial career path. You know what I mean? So there is no to public health. So if you really want to do something related to public health, you can, even if your background was business analytics or was marketing or anything, you know. So if you really want to do public health, and you can do it. And also the other thing that I want to tell you is that if you have a BA background, or, you know, marketing or digital marketing, whatever, you can find courses that aligns with the line of work that you're already doing or what your undergraduate was. You don't have to do public health. Public health is just one program that the universities provide you with, you know. So you have so many other courses that you can do that's related to your line of work, you know. You just have to Google them. Just Google it, like Google digital marketing programs in the US, in the state of LA, or, you know, or business analytics programs or universities in the state of Florida, whatever. Just Google it, and you're gonna get a list of universities that provides programs that you are looking into, and just reach out to them, email them, read whatever is written on the website, understand what it says, and reach out to them if you have questions. And there is always a category for you to apply to the universities. You will find all these programs that you never even thought existed. You will, and you will be like, oh, I don't need public health anymore. I have this thing that's more connected to my undergraduate degree, or whatever master's you did, or whatever you did back in India, so back in your country. So just do that and find your way. That's my best advice on that. All right, last question. Is it worth living in USA? Good question. All right, so simple answer, yes. Yes. It is. It's not because it's USA or anything. It's always worth it to explore, right? It's always worth it to go out of your hometown, and even if you want to come back, just go explore, see what's out there, meet people, and see all these cultures. It will only help you grow when you're like pulled out from a place and planted in another place. You will only grow. You're not going to go down from whatever level you were in. So it's nice to experience all that. Of course, it's gonna have its own challenges and difficulties and hurdles and moments, but just enjoy that process. As cringy as it sounds, it's still worth it. It's still worth a shot. So I would say my life has become so much better now that I'm alone and I'm doing my own stuff, just growing and just keeping track of the things that I do, and just being at peace and prioritizing what relationships I want, and just in a very good position. So I would say, for that matter, it is worth living in anywhere, like USA. Yes, in my case, USA. Yes. So yeah, so if you want to go to UK, Canada, whatever, Australia, it's still gonna be worth it. If you ask my brother, he would say it is worth it living in Australia, even though I'm not a big fan of Australian. I don't know, maybe because I don't know much about it, but I had this opportunity to go to Australia for a program, and I just didn't choose it because I just felt like it's not for me. I'm scared of spiders, so I don't want to go to Australia. But if you ask my brother, like, he did his courses and everything in Australia, he's still working in Australia. So if you ask him, he's gonna say, is it worth coming and living in Australia? He would say yes. So that's that, right? So he's grown. So we all grow when we go to a different place in a foreign, environment. We all grow. So it is worth it. It's worth a shot. So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna stop with this. I still have some more questions, but I don't know, like, some of them are like overlapping with the answers that I just gave you. So if I missed any of your questions, reach out to me. I'm gonna include that in my next video if you want, and feel free to ask me more questions on my Instagram or my YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I would love to know what you think about your concerns and your like these questions. I never thought these questions existed, until I asked you guys on my Instagram and you came up with all these questions. So yeah, feel free to text me. I am always available on my Instagram, and I will see you in the next video.